Hey YouTube, it's Monday, right? Monday, February 11th, 2019. Just try to reconcile the doctor's appointment situation. And lucky me. Who answered the phone? But the lady that shrugs her shoulders instead of speaking words. You know, the professional lady that sits behind the desk at the doctor's office. The one who handles my insurance and moves hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Insurance dollars, taxpayer dollars every day. That's what she does. She has control over taxpayer money because her signature goes on the bottom of a piece of paper and that gets your insurance billed. Well, the woman that shrugged her shoulders all professionally, yeah, well, I lucked out and got her on the phone earlier today. And when I was explaining my plight, she cut me off and started towing the company line again. And I said, ma'am, I understand you're not listening to what I'm saying. Listen. And I started speaking again and she cut me off again. A little louder this time. So I raised my voice a little bit to speak over her. And I kept saying the same thing, trying to get it through to her, and she kept reciting back, cutting me off, so I raised my voice. And she said, well, first off, you're not gonna raise your voice to me on the phone. I said, ma'am, I tried to talk to you and you've cut me off. You were being very rude by cutting me off 3 times. Your job is to listen to the patient, not cut me off and tell me I'm wrong. The doctor eventually got on the phone with my girlfriend, not with me, because I'm ready to reach through the phone and rip your head off. Doctor gets on the phone and goes, well, yeah, can he make it in now? Because, yeah, we have I know, I see it's his first time on a Friday, and I have an early day Friday, but they usually give a card. Okay, they usually give a card. Yes, usually they do. Usually. However, this month I had to go twice. I showed up halfway through on a Thursday at whatever time. It's just a prescription pickup. When I showed up, she said, oh, she slides the window open. She's like, you're just here for a pickup, right? I said, yeah. She goes, it's so crazy in here. She slid the window closed and ran away. All right, so I sat down in the waiting room. She slides open the glass and says, Thomas, here you go. And she slides it across, sets it down on the counter, slides the window, and does one of these and goes. And I'm like, all right, cool. I got my script. Walk over, pick my script up, say, have a nice day, and walked out the door. No appointment card. No appointment card. There was like 6 or 7 people in this little tiny office, and they were running around like nuts behind the glass. I got a prescription. No card. And it was the first time I had to go on a Friday now. They have different hours on Friday. I wasn't given a card to talk about any hours. I'm used to going on Mondays. But they didn't bump me back to Monday. No, they kicked me forward a whole week to Monday. So I had to wait a whole week longer. All right? Went to the Friday, Monday to Friday. I didn't go on the Friday before the Monday. No, I had to go to the Friday after the Monday is when they switched me. All right, no problem. All right, I did it. Made it through, whatever. But now, so the doctor makes an appointment. Now, do you think in any way, shape, or form, me, with my subdued self, is going to be able to walk into that office and not rip that bitch's face off? Really? There's no way. Now, I understand. She cannot admit that she didn't give me that card. She can't. By law. If she says she did not, that means she's negligent. That means she didn't discuss the prescription, what I should do, how I should take them, how I should do this, how I should do that. That's what that means. That means she violated her contract to the doctor's office. So she'll look you dead in the face and lie to you. She has to. That's wrong. Law should never stand in the way of the truth. And the law is standing in the way of the truth right now. She can't admit the truth, because to do so would make her negligible. All she had to do was say, hey, Tuck, I know I didn't give you a card, right? But, please don't say anything. Are you kidding? I'm always trying to bend the rules. I'm always trying to figure a way around the law because it's all BS. There's proof. The truth came out and got swept under the carpet due to law. The truth is always the truth. Whether it hurts or it helps, it's always the truth and it's always right. Always. It's always right. It's the truth. He's the way, the truth, and the light. Simple as that. It's not that hard. It's not difficult. It's not a complicated concept there. It ain't. And that woman sure did that. Cut me off. Trying to debate with me. Not gonna work. See, she's used to dealing with the other half of society. The scumbag part. And most of the guys who walked in the shoes that I walked in are drones. They're not intellectual, they don't have the mental capacity. They're used to homeless and living for right now. I live both sides. And I'm pretty quick up here. And I'm even quicker right here. And I understand the difference between right and wrong. I did wrong a lot, but I understand the difference between right and wrong. And when you're right, you're right. And when you're wrong, you're friggin' wrong. Promptly admit it. Wrong. Oops. But I know if I get adamant on something, you're never going to hear me say, I'm wrong. Because the reason I'm adamant about it is because I know I'm right. I know it's what happened. People don't record things the way I do. They don't record situations. I can memorize events and situations and dialogues like nobody you've ever met. I could recite whole movies back, catalogs of movies, not just a movie. I could start at the beginning of a series and speak to the end of the series, no matter how many movies there are. Watch Rocky movies with me. I can make it from Rocky 1 all the way to end of Rocky 5. Verbatim. Indiana Jones, I could do the same thing. All the Riddick movies. Almost all of the Mel Brooks movies. Quentin Tarantino. Pulp Fiction I could do backwards and forwards. It's not because I watched them a million times. It's because I was interested in the idea, and I listened. I may have watched it 3 or 4 times, but never the whole way through. It'll be 2/3 of the movie today, and then I'll catch 1/3 and the other third another time, and catch some of it later and some of it here. And then I put all the pieces together and I can recite that movie back to you. Almost all of the Disney movies. You can get them all. My brain's set to record information. And I could store a lot of it. There's a lot of information stored up there. It's crowded. But it's right on the money. I remember things I did, and I remember how to do things that I did once in 1985. I just still can do it. Exactly the way I did it then. I don't forget things. Blessing, curse, however you want to look at it. But my dialogue is the situation. And I could record dialogue like nobody else. Songs? Nobody you know knows more lyrics than I do. Nobody. I sit down and play that rock and roll Jeopardy game, and I answer the questions before they're asked. It's not, I just know it. Nobody knows. It's just, it comes to me second hand. New music, the stuff that comes out today is not music. I can't tell you nothing about it. Sam Smith? What the hell is a Sam Smith? That's awful generic. All these people out there now, I have no idea who they are. And I'm going to keep it that way. Because they're not musicians. They're taking the work that really good musicians did and they're distorting it. Just like their controllers, the controllers of the music industry, take our good work, the citizens, we the people, they take our good work and they distort it. Well, that's what their musicians are doing. Now, Lil Wayne could play a guitar. He could play the piano. He's good. He could play music. He really can. But he's just a puppet. He just happens to know how to play this music. He happens to know how to copy other people's music. But he's not a musician. They're not musicians. Frank Zappa, that was a musician. He was a musician. Yeah. Jimmy Page, musician. John Entwistle, musicians. Yeah. Cliff Burton, musician. They're musicians. All right? Johann Sebastian Bach, musician. Mozart, musician. And the greatest of all time, Beethoven. That is the musician. Those men played music. Shit. Bach was deaf. Beethoven was deaf. How about that? Music isn't something you hear. It's something you live. It's something you know. It's something you feel. Proof is the greatest of all time was deaf. Listen to Beethoven. Listen to him. You can hear what he heard with no ears. When you listen to Beethoven, he's amazing. And his mom had 3 kids who were deaf, 2 were blind, a bunch of stillbirths. This woman had some problems. She had, 13 kids? She had stillbirths, blind, deaf, multiple sclerosis. They had so many problems. And then her 9th child. Yeah, he was the 9th. Her 9th child was only born deaf. And he became the greatest of all time. Musician. It's bad. It's very bad. The world's going to hell in a handbasket. And this isn't hell. It's not. It has the appearance of hell. Because people are walking around living lives like demons. Lying constantly to further their jobs. Knowing that what they're doing is wrong, but they do it anyway because it's my job. I print books. I print books that 90% of the books sit on a shelf and never get read. The covers get looked at. There's a lot of good gems inside those books. But everybody looks and says, oh, it's a fantasy book. Yeah, everybody throws the baby out with the bathwater. all the time. Oh, I don't want to listen to him because he's saying he's one of them. Yeah? Well, guess what? I'm not going to find out what's happening over in that neighborhood unless I talk to somebody from over in that neighborhood. I can't tell from here. I might not like something that they believe in, but it doesn't mean everything they say is a lie. Out here, everything that shows up on that TV, 90-10. But the 10 is the lean. 90%'s the truth. The effect is usually the truth. It's the cause that they lie about. And that's usually how it works. Well, I wanted to talk about that doctor's appointment. It just blows my mind. And I gotta get ready to go to work. Go start this hamster wheel up again until Friday. Please, go outside. Look up. Look around. Use your eyes. Use your God-given senses. The world's amazing. And you're the most amazing part of it. You really are. The greatest of the creations. And that's tough. It's the way I see it.